All right, if you got numbers 1 or 2 incorrect, the first thing I need you to do is fill in at the bottom of your paper where it says things to remember. So the first thing when you're solving for unit rate, the first thing we do is we're going to draw our fraction. The second thing we do is determine what goes on top and what goes on the bottom. Remember, if it's a blank per blank, say minutes per mile question, my first quantity, in this case it would have been minutes, goes on the top, mile would go on the bottom. Once I've determined that, the third thing I do is I write in my quantities, top over bottom on my fraction. Fourth thing is I would plug in the numbers that I know. Fifth, I divide top by bottom. And then once I have my answer, I label with the units. So whatever your number is, and then blank per blank. So if you're still writing these things down, pause your video at this point, finish writing them down. Once you do that, we'll go up to our 2 examples. So number 1 says a runner goes 2 miles in 16 minutes. How many minutes per mile does the runner take? So the first thing I do is I draw my fraction. That's step 1. Step 2 is determine what is the top quantity, what goes on top, and what goes on the bottom. So remember in our notes, blank per blank, the first blank, my first quantity, so in this case it's minutes, it's going to go on top. I'm going to label that with a T. My second quantity, miles, is going to go on the bottom. I'm going to label that with a B. Then I write in my quantities on my fraction. So on top, I'm going to have minutes. On the bottom, I'm going to have miles. Step 4, I plug in the numbers I know. How many minutes do I know? 16 minutes. How many miles? 2 miles. Step 5, I divide top by bottom. 16 divided by 2 is 8. And then my last step is to label with units. So it'll be 8 minutes per mile. Okay, let's look at number 2. A factory makes 450 toys in 9 hours. How many toys per hour does the factory produce? Okay, step 1, draw my fraction. Step 2, determine what's going to be on top and what's going to be on the bottom. So in this case, toys is going to be the top, hour is going to be the bottom. 3, I write in my quantities, toys over hours. Toys, top, hours, bottom. Plug in the numbers I know. 450 toys in 9 hours. Now I divide 450 by 9.